Hello and welcome to my little witch's den. This is going to be one of my vlogs since we are still in, I think this is the end of week 5 that I've been in working from home in lockdown from the coronavirus. I think I was working from home a week prior to the lockdown. I'm a little flummoxed on time and the passage of. Like around 5:30 this evening, I was like, "Are you sure it's not midnight? It feels like midnight." But anyways, sleep screwed up, all sorts of fun stuff. So why not start a YouTube channel while you're in quarantine and can't be around your family or your boyfriends or friends or any of that fun stuff? It's just me and my idiot cats. So anyways, I made a little witch's den in my living room. I'll probably do a little tour at some point, but I'm just getting set up with I got a new video camera back towards the end of last year because I've been meaning to get my YouTube channel up since, so I don't know, maybe November or December. It's almost May. That tracks. I'm a Gemini, an ADHD Gemini, nonetheless, who may or may not have taken their meds today. But so what I want to talk about a little bit is I have a history of dealing with depression, anxiety, and complex PTSD and chronic sleep issues. So all those things, when you live by yourself during quarantine, can be quite a challenge. Um, so I've been trying to take care of myself as best as I can. This is, I think, going to replace what I would do on my Facebook profile of Facebook Lives of sort of daily check-ins, what I'm doing, witchy things, all that. But I'm by my little altar. You can see in the background, I finally finished setting up my Lilith altar, which I'm really excited about. As someone who came back to the craft after, I was always a bit of, I was always more on the atheist agnostic side of things. So getting into, I still refer to things as spirits, not gods and goddesses. Even my early days when I was working within sort of the Wiccan realm, it never really resonated with me. I was fascinated with the stories of Celtic and Norse mythology, but it wasn't something that I felt like I could really engage with and incorporate into my life. So that part fell a little flat with me. So coming back in to a regular practice and working with spirits, whether that be spirit guides, ancestors, what the world kind of categorizes into, if you want to say demons or dark spirits, angels, various ascended masters, things like that, gods and goddesses, deities, etc. I found myself a little bit on the but I'm an atheist. How do I engage with something divine or other and have a meaningful relationship with them? And that's been an interesting process for me because I really did not know where to start because again, I'm not a Wiccan, so I didn't really go that aspect back into the practice of the horn god, triple goddess, all of that. So where does one start? So I've done my research and I'd watch a ton of different YouTube channels all the time. And I started reading a lot more, exploring not only my personal spirit guides and ancestors and working with them in the work that I do for part of my spirituality, but also kind of looking beyond that. And I recently started working with Lilith. And some will classify her as a goddess, as a demon goddess, vampire, mother of demons, the first woman, etc. But I think of her as I feel more comfortable saying spirit. So that's where I'm at in my comfort level of working with spirits. So mostly again, this kind of plays into the ADHD thing. I have a hard time with two things in my practice, with divination and with invoking or evocating spirits in the conscious realm, because it's all crazy up in there. There's lots of things going on. Sometimes I forget my medication and get distracted by shiny things. And being able to focus on stuff can be a little bit challenging. People are like, just breathe, just let your mind go. I'm like, when I let my mind go, I'm thinking of like 200,000 different crazy things. And, did I leave the stove on? I think I forgot to change the cat litter boxes. When did I change my sheets again? Did I brush my teeth? I feel like that I didn't brush my teeth today. But we'll leave it at that. I'm a very animated person, so I'm not one to have very professional, polished videos and things of that nature. Maybe I'll get there someday, but I'm a very extemporaneous speaker, and my cat Moon is coming to join us. I'm going to pick her up before she goes mucking about on my altar. Speaking of things, she really loves my Lilith altar and pays honor to Lilith every day. She goes over and sniffs my Lilith statues, tries to steal her roses. Moon is a very, very much a witchy kitty. She likes all things witchy. The reason she's named Moon is because she appeared to me on a full moon back in July on my porch, and she was like, "Hello, you're my human now." And, well, yeah, that's how that works. Oh, you're gonna go do moon things? Um, Anyways, where was I? Oh, yes, ADHD, self care. Um, so getting back into working with spirits, if you want to call them deities, um, has been a bit. It's opening up my mind to different things. And as I was saying before, I got distracted by cats, which probably will be a common theme amongst many of my videos. Um, is that I have trouble concentrating in the conscious realm. So I do a lot of my work in divination, within spirit communication, within working with deities, within the astral realm. So I'm very skilled and adept at astral travel and soul travel. And there is a little bit of a difference in that. We can get into that in later videos. But what I find is that it's easier for me to do at night because my brain's kind of starting to quiet down a little bit. And before bed, I will either do some guided meditations or just start going into that state where, and something for me, which surprisingly, I can actually get into that state um, pretty easily now. It's just sort of like, okay, I'm going there, and we're there. So, and I'm working through. I've been journaling a lot about my experiences with Lilith, and I'm going to do sort of a progressive video later on that, because she's revealing things to me about my life, about the universe, about everything. It's kind of impactful. Let's go with that. I work with flying ointments, which there are two types, non-toxic ones, which usually are either going to be like a wormwood, mugwort base, and those are both will give you really intense dream. If you're doing dream work or astral travel, they're excellent for that. Or ones that use toxic herbs like belladonna, datura, mandrake root, henbane, and fly agaric mushrooms. And I started making my own, and I have other ones that I bought over like last year and stuff like that to test out. And I find for that, it also helps kind of take my brain to another level of consciousness and opens up a lot of different doors for really getting into some deep, deep stuff. Whether you want to call it shadow work or just, I've been chronicling things since sometime last year. It started as writing a book to my boyfriend about how much I love him, and then somehow it's transformed into all my weird astral travel and how much I love him, and all of the weird things I've seen in my astral travels and experiments with entheogenic herbs, which are my heart. Belladonna is my soul plant. It's just, there's different things that resonate with us. I know I'm jumping around a lot. Hi, ADHD Witch. Like, belladonna is my soul plant. Smoky quartz is my soul stone. And I love this one. This one I bought sometime last year. I'm a smoky quartz hoe, so I be buying the smoky quartz whenever I can. But I love this particular piece just because it like fits in my hand so perfectly. Like there's even like a little thumb rest. And it's just like at night, like I'll hold on to it and it fits so perfectly. But it's something like I've been finding a lot of comfort in this particular stone. Um, I'm not entirely well versed on crystals yet. I know some things. Usually I have to look things up, but smoky quartz is my jam. Love it. And I don't even know where all of it is right now. There's a couple pieces on my Lilith altar. There's this piece. There's another one right over here. So, and a gigantic bay leaf, which was for my money bowl. And then there's this piece of smoky quartz, and I have some chevron over there. I love me some smoky quartz. But all this kind of comes back to taking care of yourself. And if I didn't have my magical practice and I didn't have this aspect of my life, I would be a literal hot freaking mess right now. Emotionally, because I live alone. I haven't seen my boyfriend in probably 6 weeks now. I haven't seen my family in even longer because my dad's high risk, as is my nephew, and I don't know when I'm going to see anyone in my life again. So I'd be going a little bit crazy if I didn't have magic in my life. So how that manifests for me, it's not, doing daily rituals and, all these elaborate things. As someone who creates witchy products, thankfully, I have an endless supply of things. Hello again, Moon. So that might be as simply as taking a spiritual bath. Like I make a lot of salt baths and milk baths and bubble baths. I love bubble baths. I don't understand baths without things in them. Water feels weird. I don't understand that. Anyways, but my bathtub is always a little herb encrusted. I particularly love Florida water. I have a Florida water bubble bath and bath salts, which I adore. But doing something like that, and just because the salt's so cleansing, and you've got all the herbs, you've got different fragrances and oils and stuff in there. So just taking that time, like every day, I almost always take a bath more so than showers, unless I have to wash my hair. But and sometimes I'll like wash my hair while I'm taking a bath. I have no shame. But it's doing little things like that, taking the time to be present with yourself. And it doesn't always work. There are days where I feel like absolute crap. And I'm like, I just don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to deal with this world. F everything. But magic helps bring me back to myself. Whether it's reading a book, which I have been doing a ton of. I am currently working my way through The Witch's Ointment, not shocking, by Thomas Hatsis. It's The Secret History of Psychedelic Magic. I've been listening to audiobooks sometimes when I'm working on my computer, just to kind of keep my, because again, hello, ADHD Witch. I kind of have to be multitasking, having like something else going on. Occasionally I'll work in silence. It's probably just because I'm not paying attention and forgot to put something on and I'm so engrossed in what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm doing multiple things at once. But, it's a hard time for a lot of people, even people who have never dealt with serious mental illness before, and isolation and uncertainty and the financial impact of all this and people's health, and whether you're sick or whether someone you know is sick or you've lost anyone, it's a really hard time. And we have to ground ourselves and find the time to, sorry, Moon keeps coming back for, probably your tail. Hi, Mooney. to be on camera again? Hello, Moony Moons. Yes, he said Moony Moons. But my cats are probably like, woman, when do you go? Like, get out of our house already. Yes. She's like, I just want to go sniff things on your altar. Yes, she does. But it's about taking care of yourself. And magic does that for me. It gives me power and hope. It gives me power in myself and my ability to manifest change in my life. And I feel like I've grown so much so fast. And, I'm just learning new things every day and experiencing new things. And it's really helped a lot through this because just to give you the beginning part of the year, this has been 2020 can like go die in a fire at this point because I started the year due to a medication change that content trigger warning put me into a suicidal depression and ended up in the hospital for a few days while they were readjusting my medication. It was solely because of the medication change, which, because I don't feel that way normally. So that's how I started out my year in the psych ward. Not the best way to start the year out. I just started. Yeah, I see you there, Moon. Oh, are there candles blocking your way to Lilith? Here, let me move them. And don't steal Baphomet's flowers this time. See? She always likes to pay homage to Lilith. I don't know. She's just like that. But so yeah, I started my year out in a really shitty place. And I just started getting my head back out of the water. And my beloved Buster, my elder kitty, who was 17, passed away at the end of January. He got very sick. He was 17. He had lived a good life, but it was very hard losing my companion of 17 years. He'd been with me for a very long time. He was a good little kitty, and again, just started pulling myself back out of that in February. And, it was a rough year to that point already. And I've been paying attention to this, coronavirus stuff because, fun fact, I love to study epidemiology and pandemics and diseases in my spare time. So I've read all those books. I've seen all those documentaries and films over the years. I know how this plays out. So I've been paying attention to it and, kind of in the background. And at some point in time, I think it was in February, I was like, I'm going to go up and visit my parents because I feel like it's just going to be a while until I get to see them again. Because I started feeling, I started seeing the writing on the wall at that point. Maybe call me more visionary than our government, but I also work in a large university and was starting to see some of our international guest visitors having to cancel because they were coming from like Italy and things like that, and then seeing all the travel restrictions coming from the college. I'm like, you know what? I bet you we're going to be working from home for a while. So I started stockpiling back then and watching prepper videos and things and getting ready for this. I wasn't sure how long this was going to last, but I'm trying to think when, because our college was on spring break when everything started to go down. So they extended spring break by a week. I would say it was like mid-March, maybe, when we got the order that we could all work from home, which I'm very thankful for, because I know a lot of people are just not working because you can't cut hair from home or fix a car from home or whatever. And then there's the people on the front lines that are saving our lives, working in hospitals and in the supply chain and all of that. So I feel very lucky in that sense. But I have no idea where I was going with all of this, but anyways, so that's just sort of the shit show that was the early part of my year. Um, the silver lining in this was that I started a newer treatment for depression that was developed for people who have chronic medication issues, which, hi, I've got about 26 years of those, of medications trying to kill me. Um, seriously. Which apparently is a genetic thing. I think I mentioned in another video where I was talking about I they did my psychiatrist did there's a specific kind of genetic testing they can do that will give you sort of a red light, yellow light, green light go on different medications based on your genetics as how well they will work for you. Guess what? Out of all the antidepressants in the world, there's 6 that would work well for me, and I wasn't ever on any of them. Most of them were in the yellow and red, which was like, this is not gonna. You're gonna have a lot of side effects from these. Same thing with antipsychotics. Um, the benzodiazepines, however, are my friend, which is ironic because that's outside of the Xanax withdrawal ones. Those are one of the only things that really do work for me. Um, Mood stabilizers surprisingly didn't have issues with, although I had issues when I was on mood stabilizers because it turns out after being misdiagnosed as bipolar not once but twice, that could be why bipolar medication doesn't work on me. Science, y'all, it's a thing. But so I've been doing this treatment called transcranial magnetic stimulation. It's 36 sessions, and I'm just finishing it up now, and have been decreasing my antidepressant over the course of the treatment. And basically, you do it like 5 days a week for 20 days, then you do it 3 days a week for a month, and 2 days a week for 2 weeks, however it all shakes out. But basically, they strap you into this thing, and they sort of magnetizes your brain, so your brain starts producing, the chemicals it should be producing that, the medications are trying to produce, and in my case, failing a lot of times. So that's been a great help because that's another thing that is part of self-care is if you're on any kind of therapeutic regimen, stick to it, whether it's telemedicine, talking to your therapist on Zoom. Luckily, I can do that with my psychiatrist. I'm not really currently seeing my therapist because I was doing all the DTMS stuff, and there's just only so many hours in the day that I can be dealing with crap. And copays are hell. Yeah, I'm gonna be using my stimulus money to pay off some medical debt. Yay! Oh, hello again, Moon. Corey is passed out asleep. Moon is just like, "Hi, pet me, pet me, pet me." Come here, girl. Are you gonna be the star, little Moon star? Um. So yeah, that's also part of my self care is taking care of that. And I have been thankful. It's been getting me out of the house at least a couple times a week, outside of going to the post office to mail orders, but or random grocery store runs. But it's important to take care of ourselves during this wonderful shit show of 2020. Hopefully, things start to settle down and we reasonably can come out of quarantine at some point because I'd like to, see people and stuff. Um, Maybe go back to my office and work. I miss my courtyard squirrels. Boom, what is up with you tonight, girl? Um, but till then, whether that's May, June, July, whatever, we got to do the best we can to take care of ourselves. And for me, I take the medications I'm still on because, I still have to take my ADHD meds. And at some point, I may be able to figure out how to sleep on a normal schedule again. That's never been my strong suit. My body is just geared towards sleeping from like 3 a.m. to noon, which is fine unless you have to function in the 9 to 5 world, which normally I do. But, anyways, Be well, my friends, and stay tuned for more videos. And don't forget to click like and subscribe to see more videos and updates and to get notifications. And all my links and stuff will be in the description.